Hello, everyone. My name is DeAndrea Hardy, and I'm the founder and executive director of BattleBetty Foundation. BattleBetty Foundation is an organization committed to the well-being and support of women veterans. Most of us have been following the news about our sister-in-arms, PFC Vanessa Guillen. Prior to her disappearance on April 22nd, Vanessa told her mother of sexual harassment and stalking being perpetrated by a sergeant in her unit and the fear of possibly not being taken seriously if she reported. Army CID gave a statement of no credible evidence concerning the harassment. And despite increasing details alluding to her disappearance being the result of retaliation, the armies have previously reported her disappearance is not connected in any way. The details of her military sexual trauma and leadership's dismissal of it has triggered memories of similar situation across all branches of current service members and veterans, including myself. Flashbacks of incidents, the fear of retaliation, the despair from dismissal of our stories, and the lasting pervasive effects of trauma have rocked our peace. And that's exactly why we're here today, to offer a guided meditation and affirmations in hopes of providing a space of comfort and help restore a little peace. To help us, we are joined by Kelsey Hicks Buns of Essentially Kelsey. So thank you, Kelsey, for joining us today. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself, your work, and any tips you have for women service members and veterans as we collectively work through what PFC Guillen's story has brought up?
Yes, thank you so much, DeAndrea, for having me. Again, my name is Kelsey Hicks Buns. I am the creator and founder of Essentially Kelsey, which includes the Be Kind Healing Space, which stands for Black Kids Inspired, Nurtured, Divine, as well as the 10 to You Healing Space for adults. I am also the director of the Women's Resource Center at Bucknell University and coordinator of the Advocate Program, supporting students who have experienced sexual assault, dating and domestic violence, and incidents of stalking. I am a mindfulness practitioner, and I'm also a trained facilitator of restorative practices. I also consider myself to be a friend of the BattleBetty Foundation. You can find me on Facebook and Instagram at Kelsey Essentially. And before we get into those tips, I want to invite you all to a healing space that was created specifically for women veterans of color. It will be held Thursday, July 23rd, 2020, from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can find more information on our Facebook and Instagram page, as well as on our Eventbrite page. You can go to 10toyouhealingspace.eventbrite.com for that information. So DeAndrea, when I think about dealing with grief and some of the tips that come to mind, I really think about 4 components of our coping and our dealing. I think about our mind, our body, our soul and spirit, and then our social capacities. Mainly when I think about our minds, I think about the fact that we don't always take care of our minds in the ways that make the most sense for us. Sometimes for folks, that might be the need to limit our consumption of news and media. It's really easy to turn on the television and watch hours upon hours of media commentary and breaking news. There's also this need sometimes to break away from social media. And I think the two of those things combined really take a toll on people in ways that they don't understand and that they may not even be able to conceptualize. So I encourage folks to limit even the use of a cell phone and a television so that we can really disconnect from that information. Yes, it's important to stay informed and to stay knowledgeable about what's happening. I think right now in particular, our ability to stay informed is really what's brought these incidents to the forefront, and they have allowed people to really understand at a better level, at a more increased awareness what's happening. But even then, you need to take a break. Yeah. I also encourage folks to read a book. When we think about mindfulness, a lot of folks think that mindfulness is really the absence of thinking or the distraction from thinking. But really, you don't necessarily want to be distracted as much as you want to allow your mind to focus on something that might be a little more helpful for you to deal with. So when I think about reading, I think about being able to take yourself to another place, to imagine what life would be like in a different way. So you can read a self-help book. You could also read things that are fun, that are fiction. You could read not necessarily a documentary, but a biography. You could read things that just allow your mind to think about something else just for a little bit. When I think about the body, eating regularly is something that maybe we think we don't have to say, but when you are coping with grief, when you are dealing with tragedy, you might go hours upon hours without eating. So even if we go beyond the 3 meals a day, I might say, get a snack. Yes, we want to eat healthy. We all, especially during this pandemic, we might think about not having as much sugar or limiting certain food groups, but really, it's okay to indulge in that scoop of ice cream cookie right now. You just want to make sure that you're giving your body some extra nourishment. And we all, especially in the Black community, we use food as a sort of coping mechanism.
Yes.
It's not necessarily the best, but for this particular tip, I would encourage folks to not necessarily get caught up in what you're eating. Of course, add your fruits and vegetables, drink a lot of water, but it's okay to have that ice cream or that piece of cake. Also, get some sleep. Right now, I would say that I am guilty of not necessarily sleeping consistently, but you can take a nap. You let your body rest as it needs it. And then when you are up, in between your snacks and your meals, increase your heart rate. That could be going for a walk outside. That could be dancing to your favorite music, whatever that looks like, jumping rope, hula hooping, loved ones, playing with your pets. Just make sure that you're increasing your heart rate a few times a day. Now, when we get to our soul and our spirit, of course, praying and meditation is at the top of my list. Whether you believe in a higher being or not, you can take time to just reflect inward. Take time to listen to yourself, listen to your body, listen to your heart and your mind. You can also do that by communing with nature. That might be sitting under a tree, that might be in your hammock, that also might be to the tip that I just shared about your body, that might also be going for a walk. And then cry. It goes without saying that the body has certain responses to trauma and grief that we sometimes try to suppress. But crying is good for the soul. It's good for the body. It's good for the heart. So if you need to cry, whether you are in public or private, whether you are by yourself or with loved ones, whether you are in front of a crowd or you are in your car, if you need to cry, cry. Don't suppress that. It is cleansing, it is refreshing, and it is rejuvenating. And then when I think about social connection, right now we might be physically distant. Right now you and I are even in different places, but it is really good to connect with loved ones. And I say loved ones because that can be family, that can be friends, that can be coworkers and colleagues, that can be anyone, but people that you care about, who care about you, it's really good to connect with those folks. You can get creative. I love to paint. I love to do things on my Cricut, send cards, whatever your creative outlet is. Make sure that you're giving yourself some time to connect creatively. And then lastly, I want to encourage folks to join a support group. Yes, you can have a relationship with a licensed mental health professional, and I completely agree with that. I have one myself. But it's also good to connect with people who may have some common experiences as you. So support group is a trauma group, if it is a group of other veterans, if it's a group that is within your church or your religious spaces, whatever that group might be, having a group of folks that you can lean on right now is going to be really helpful.
Well, thank you so much for sharing those tips with us. I know there are definitely things that not only apply it to the current situation we're in, but something that we all can, put into practice every day for any situation we may be going through. But so now we want to get into our meditation. So in order to make sure that we maintain the positive energy that we manifest by the meditation, what we're going to do is turn the session over to you to guide us through and close out our session. So again, thank you so much for joining us, and everyone from here forward, Kelsey will be speaking to you and guiding us through.
Yes, thank you for this opportunity. Before we get into our guided meditation, I want to offer a few words because I just think that this time is so rich and it's so full of so many complex emotions, and I want to honor those. And so first, I want to say that this meditation is to honor the grief and loss of our sister and the countless others whose voices and lives have not been honored when they speak up about the agency of their bodies. This meditation, or any meditation, will not end our suffering or fix the pain, but it will serve as a space of honor and hopefully aid in the release of all of the feelings and the complexities that come with this suffering. I hope that you will listen to this as often as you need during this time. And as you grapple with feelings, emotions, and thoughts that you may or may not have shared before, I hope that you find some space to really just align your heart and your mind. Lastly, I hope you will see this as a way to unify and connect with folks around the world, folks that you may or may not even know. You are not alone. You are not enduring alone. You are not grieving alone. You are not working through this alone. We are all in this together. Nevertheless, this does not replace a relationship with a licensed mental health professional. Please connect or even reconnect with a therapist for more substantial techniques to deal with grief. We really, right now, want to honor the breath in our bodies. In a time where we hear, "I can't breathe," we want to show gratitude for the breath in our bodies. So we want to do that by taking a deep breath right now. We're going to inhale and hold it for just a second and exhale. I'm not going to count it off because I want it to feel organic and safe for you. And if at any time as you are breathing during this meditative exercise, if you feel lightheaded or you feel like you have shortness of breath, I want you to stop, check in with your body, and if need be, connect with a healthcare professional. So we're going to take a deep breath right now. In through the nose and holding it, and then exhaling through the mouth. I want to honor the main reason that has brought us together. Yes, there are countless others that we can think about and that we may or may not know, but really I want to talk about or center the person, the woman, our sister of color, the service person whose voice was dismissed in life but has been elevated in legacy. We say your name, PFC Vanessa Guillen. As we get into this guided exercise, I want to remind you to get into a space that is comfortable for you. You can sit in a chair, you can sit on your couch, on the floor, on the bed, whatever is most comfortable for you, even if that's outside. But get into a space that is free of distraction and that can allow you just a few moments for yourself. As I say these affirmations out loud, I will leave a little bit of space for you to say them out loud. A part of this meditation is really you affirming all of the things that I'm saying. Whatever you need to do during this time, if feelings and emotions arise that make you want to cry, please feel free to do that. So we're going to get started. We have just a few affirmations. And again, You can rotate your shoulders. You can make some space for you to rotate your head and your neck. You can take your hands and put them on a place on your body that feels most comfortable. For some, that might be a knee, a leg, a thigh, your hips. That might even be holding your hands. Whatever that looks like to you, just allow yourself to check in with your body in the way that makes the most sense for you. So we're going to begin with our affirmations. And again, thank you so much for this time and this opportunity, DeAndrea. Every feeling I feel right now is valid. I acknowledge these feelings and their origins. I give myself grace to prioritize myself. I am surrounded by support and love. I trust the process of healing. I am grateful for life. Even through my suffering, I love myself. I have agency over my body and my voice. I accept what I cannot change and find the courage to change the things I can. I deserve respect of boundaries, voice, and self. Thank you for taking just a few moments to affirm yourself, to take a breath, and to check in with your body. I want to offer a final moment of silence for PFC Vanessa Guillen. Thank you.